Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be touching on 2 points. The first is mapDespatchToProps, which is something we are following up from the previous video on mapStateToProps. And the second thing that we'll be doing, I should discuss a code structure for a React app that's using Redux. So the first thing is mapDespatchToProps. But before we get there, here let's look at the actions.js and reducer.js. Okay, so action.js contains the actions that our to-do list is using to update the state when you have a new to-do and when you're updating the check status of a to-do. Why did we take the actions and put it out here? And why did we take the reducer that actually handles the state changes when we add to-do and update to-do? Why did we put them in its own files within the to-do list folder? The reason is to make our code easier to understand. Okay, so somebody who looks at your code, who takes over your code some other day, will be able to more easily understand the logic behind your component. It's a bit of a hassle to actually write multiple files. But in exchange, you get easier to understand code, okay, and maybe it's easier for you to edit it as your apps get bigger and bigger. All right, so let's look at our write-up. Okay, or rather, first let's look at map dispatch to props. Okay, it looks like this. It doesn't look very different from map state to props. Okay, so what we do is we actually import update to do from the actions .js here, and we actually reference it over here. All right. Yeah. Okay. We reference it over here where we actually this map dispatch to props actually give us access to to actually dispatch an action to the store. Like here, map state to props, it allows us to interact with the state of the store. Here, map dispatch to props allow us to dispatch actions to the store. And we reference it again here, and we use the connect function, which is actually a higher order component, more on that later, to actually enhance our to-do list component. Right, here is the walkthrough. Okay, so map dispatch to props, yep, it provides access to the store's dispatch function. Okay, so why use a map dispatch to props? The reason is because let me lengthen this. Okay, because using map dispatch to props really give us a lot more flexibility. What it means is that you don't have to import the store, and you don't have to call store.dispatch. Instead, the component only receives props. Okay, so let's give you an example here. We map this update to do, okay, to props.update to do. So basically over here, we want to call the dispatch function. Okay, all we need to do is just to call props.update to do. So to do list component, all it knows is, okay, I'm getting props. I don't know from where, but I'm getting a props of a to do update to do, and that gives us a lot of flexibility, because the component doesn't know that the props.update to do came from Redux. All it knows is there's such a function, and what it means is that in the future you could actually totally remove Redux, and then and it's easier for you to transit to another state management library or something else. All right, and also, okay, take a look at this. Now, without the connect higher order component, that means without this thing that actually gives to-do list access to state and dispatch, this thing alone, this to-do list component, is something that doesn't know Redux at all. So you can actually export this to-do list, and you don't have to rely on Redux at all. Okay, you don't have to rely on all of this at all, which means it's much easier for you to test or to use it by itself without Redux. So you can see that the map dispatch to props basically gives us a lot more flexibility than imagine if you have to import the store and then now your component is tight has a import of store and now and even more inflexible would be to have for example store dot dispatch something here and you cannot really um, use it by itself, all right, or you cannot really um, it knows about the store, so you cannot really like easily replace the with another state management library. All right. Right. Next, what is connect? Okay, so last video we didn't really go through that. Okay, connect is a higher order component. Okay, it's a function. Okay, that takes our base component, wrap component, and it gives us an enhanced component. And in connect's case, we wrap our to-do list. Here it goes. This is the wrap component. And the wrap components get access to some enhanced stuff, which is interaction with the store, dispatch, and get state. All right. For more information, refer to this link. And now code structure for Redux. All right. So you have seen some of the changes or some of the differences here where we actually abstracted the logic of actions and the logic of reducers and even store. Store now has its own file. The benefit of it is that as your application gets bigger and bigger and your store gets more and more complex, all the logic pertaining to store, like such as combined reducers and other more advanced stuff, can all belong here, and they don't clog up our app.js. And our app.js is as simple as it can get. All right, you just import the provider and import store, and yeah, so that's all it does for Redux. Okay, back to the right walkthrough. All right. So, what is a good code structure for Redux? Okay, now it's not it's up to you actually what code structure you want to you want to implement. Um, for us, okay, so we have taken the approach of separating our code, such that every component actually isn't just one file by itself, but we put it into a folder. It has its own actions.js, its own reducers.js, so that it's easier to understand. We also have taken the step of putting a functional component, which is like the which is here, input form.jsx, in another folder by itself, so that other components, other bigger components can reference these smaller building blocks. All right. So the cool thing about this what you call input form.jsx is that it doesn't know about Redux at all. We do map state to props and map dispatch to props for to-do list, but input form, which we import over here, it actually totally doesn't know about Redux, and yet we can pass into input form the add to do dispatch action, and it will work like magic. Okay, so it will be able to update the store. You will be able to call a dispatch function without even needing any of these like connect lah or any map dispatch or map state to props. That's one of the advantage of that's one of the benefits of actually separating your components into functional ones and what they call um the component with that actually has access to logic and state. Okay, so further down. Okay. All right. So here we have it. The functional component doesn't know about Redux. Okay, and the functional component input form doesn't need to know about any of the action creators. It doesn't need to know about any of the reducers, and yeah, just elaborating on that point. And all right. Alright, okay, so there are some disadvantages to this splitting up of code. You have to create action.js for every component, reducer.js for every like major component, and you have to import all these actions. You know, you can just like just write it in line. So therefore, that you can always combine and then have just a single file with all the logic. Um, so it depends on you actually, but if you want to know more information, you're really curious as to what is the best code structure for your app, do visit this place, Redux docs itself. Okay, so let's go to the task. Okay, the practice that you can try. The practice would be to actually implement add to do dispatch action. Okay, so currently now our to-do list has this input form component, basically this input form component that is not functional, all right? Because the input form is basically waiting for your add to do function to be add to do dispatch function to be implemented. Here we have only imported update to do, and we've only mapped dispatch to props update to do. So you can try your hands at updating at enhancing this to do list with the add to do action. So it's already been declared in the, let me drag this. Yeah, okay, so it's already here, add to do. So your task is to implement it. Alright, thank you for watching this video. And remember to test your uh, test, run the test to make sure that you have successfully implemented add to do. Alright, thank you.